Hey, how you doing?
There we go.
Afternoon.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Falk, I just received that order.
Thank you.
Oh, Miss Fogg, what's happening on last name Mott and Nigel? There are two Smiths. Nigel Smith.
Interesting you should mention that. The DA's office just sent me a transfer order for Mr. Mott, who has been reset since Friday for for MH issues. And as for, I think you said the other case was Nigel Smith. We
Correct.
sent that to the DA's office and are awaiting a response regarding felony transfer.
Okay, thank you. I have three waivers of presence, and I'll go ahead and sign those orders and email forward those to y'all.
Okay. Can you let it, out of curiosity, can you let me know who they are?
Walker, Sims, and Redding.
Walker, Sims, and Redding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Courtroom 2, I see that you're on. We are ready to start whenever you all are ready for us. You're on mute, Francois. I think you're speaking to me.
I'm sorry. I said good afternoon tomorrow. Hope you're doing well today.
I am. Hope you are as well. Are you ready for me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me just go ahead and give the announcement. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon or conflict defender if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
It's gonna be position number 10. How do you pronounce your last name?
The Caesar?
The Caesar. You can have a seat over here.
Yes,
Caesar.
ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey there, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. DeCesar. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005357A with simple battery. And let me make sure that I have your attorney on with me. Who's representing Mr. DeCesar?
That's Pinto.
Okay. Is that Mr. McLean, do you
Right. I believe
know
that
where
would,
your
I'm not familiar with the Caesar. I'm sure it's on that part of the list.
you know where your colleague is?
I will check. I can run downstairs, take me about 5 minutes to get back.
Well, no, let's that until the attorney arrives.
We'll do McLean's cases if Miss.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got plenty.
We can do Miss McLeod's case, position number 2, Armstrong.
You're doing good, Your Honor.
I'm doing well, Mr. Armstrong. Good afternoon. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005352H with theft by taking. Good afternoon, Ms. Hardy. Is there a history?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, the last arrest was June the 18th, 2024, out of Fulton County for armed robbery, aggravated assault, a capital offense, possession of a firearm. And that case is open under 24 PI 004334. There's also an open case for criminal attempt to commit a felony and financial transaction card fraud. That number is 24 PI 002836. They have 3 total arrest cycles. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. And just to update the court, I believe the capital case was showing dismissed in the jail screen. So I just wanted to make sure I'm not incorrect about that. Nope. So it was showing dismissed in the jail screen, but it is showing still open. No, it is dismissed. There was an order of dismissal filed on, I don't know why it's still showing open in the case intake side, but it is showing that it was dismissed. It looks like July 11th of 2024. And so that case is no longer open. The other one still is. So on this date, this happened April 10th of 2025. Defendant was at Public Supermarket at 3535 Peachtree Road. Christian Osario, who is the victim, flagged down a officer and said that someone had stolen his electric scooter while he was shopping inside the store. The officers were able to view the video with a timestamp that showed the electric scooter was taken at 5:31 p.m. Officers then did a bolo for the defendant, and the bolo hit with the defendant, Kenneth Armstrong. And that's how the defendant was then identified and arrested. So the state's recommendation, there was a $10,000 surety bond already placed on this case by magistrate court. We are agreeing to reduce that to a $2,500 surety bond. No further contact with Christian Osario. Stay away from the Publix at 3535 Peachtree Road in Atlanta. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We did speak to Mr. Osario. He stated his scooter was never returned. And he bought it for $580. He stated that he received a text message from someone who he believes to be the defendant's parents trying to rectify the situation, but he's not sure how they managed to get his number. And he asked for any member of the defendant's family or friends to refrain from communicating with him since this case has been initiated. And that's all for the state. We would like to sound from Mr. Osorio if he is present. And I did misspeak. We advised him, our office advised him to just refrain from continuing to communicate with any members of his family. We would ask that part of the order be that not only the defendant have no further contact, but that he refrain from requesting contact via a third party like a family member. That's all for the state.
Mr. Sargent, wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client does not have significant criminal history. I believe I heard the state say that one of his arrest and charges was dismissed. I believe he does have one open case. That is my understanding. My client is currently attending Metropolitan College trying to get his GED as well as a licensure in barbering. And he does live with his parents, Your Honor. He is not in a position to pay for bonds, so I would ask the court, considering his limited criminal history, to give him a signature bond. He tells me that it was not something that was intentional. Where he saw this alleged scooter, he thought it had been abandoned and he took it up. When he found out that it was not, I believe his parents tried to reach out to the alleged victim, Your Honor, to say that they would pay for it. And that was all that was about. Just wanted the court to understand that.
Okay, thank you. It will be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, no third-party contact, requesting a third-party contact of the victim, alleged victim. Stay away from the Publix, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Armstrong.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
Next, I have position number 31, Walker.
Okay.
Now that's a waiver of presence.
No, that wasn't Walker, McLean. I'll let you know who it is. I don't see Walker.
Maybe I misheard you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Walker. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005368H with theft by receiving stolen property. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June 20th, 2023 out of Alachua County, Florida for grand theft. They have 14 total arrest cycles, arrests out of Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. Misdemeanor conviction in 2021 for simple battery family violence. Nothing further to report.
Good afternoon, Mr. Straka.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took place, this was July 24th through the 25th at 30 Weatherby Street in Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a theft from a motor vehicle call and made contact upon arrival with the victim, Miss Joya Burson. She explained that her work-issued phone had actually been stolen from her vehicle overnight, and she doesn't believe she locked it. So there was no forced entry, it appeared. The police later, through investigation, discovered it had been sold to an Eco ATM kiosk outside of a Kroger, sold for $34 via PayPal, and the ID check required was led back to the defendant. Additionally, in addition to this phone, there were a number of transactions, pawn and resale history-wise, involving smartphones sold significantly below retail value on April 20th, May 1st, July 5th, and also August 20th, in addition to this case here. But those are just a few examples according to the report. So this appears to be one theft in a string of similar thefts. There's a with the history of theft cases, most recently, there was a Grand Theft Auto case in Florida that was ultimately dropped. And just as well, I see 3 FTAs since 2020, one in 2020, one in 2021. Oh, and the third would be there's a fugitive from justice for a fingerprintable charge in 2020. So 3 distinct cases for that. He also has an open possession of a controlled Schedule II controlled substance in Superior Court at the pre-indictment level. The state's recommendation here is a $1,000 surety, which is the current bond that was set on the case by the magistrate. We recommend it remain set. We're recommending an anti-theft course, no further contact with Joya Burson, and stay away from 30 Weatherby Street, Southeast Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. 34-year-old Mr. Walker has a high school education, works in a tire shop for about a year, and for the 4 years prior to that, I usually like to ask him 5 years worth. As I believe I've got down here RE, which I think I abbreviate that as restaurant work. So we would ask the court to consider a signature bond, but if not, then the 1,000, considering bonding company practices, might well work for him. But we would ask the court to consider a signature bond nonetheless.
It will be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Burson. Stay away from the Weatherby Street address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker, call your family and let them know that
I got no family here.
I'll call the phone number regardless of where your family is. Thank you.
Next is, Judge, is Ms. Pinto back yet?
It appears that I see her on the line. Ms. Pinto, are you with us?
Yes, I'm sorry, Judge. I received the link late.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And tell me again, Francois, please.
Position number 10, Mr.
Frank DeCesar.
DeCesar.
Okay. Again, good afternoon, Mr. DeCesar. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005357A with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June 10th, 2024 out of LaGrange for a DUI. They have 3 total arrest cycles. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Vaughn?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at the Emory Dialysis Center located at 610 Northside Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. Officers were working an extra job at that location, and a staff member came up and stated that the defendant had come into that location, taken mail off of the counter, and tore it up. He was also screaming and yelling. 2 staff members, James Smith and Corey House, detained the defendant and had him sit in a wheelchair and then wheeled him out of the center. While they were holding on to him and trying to keep him calm, Mr. James Smith, one of the employees, was talking to him. The defendant turned around and spit in his face. The officer was walking up when he saw Mr. House holding Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith then advised that the defendant had spit in his face and that they were talking to him at the time and asking if he was on drugs or what was going on. And that's when the defendant spit in Mr. Smith's face. We did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Smith, and he stated that he does not know the defendant. He wants to confirm that he is concerned about the nature of the spitting and what kind of contact that may have caused or what kind of transmission of any illnesses that may have caused. He stated he is working on hiring security at that location to minimize these encounters. He has taken precautionary measures to make sure there is no contagious transmission. And he also stated that the spit landed on his face, neck, and the top of his clothing. He is asking for a no further contact and stay away to keep the defendant away from his place of employment. We are asking for a let's see, the bond currently set on this was a $1,000 surety bond. We're asking that that bond remain as set. No further contact with James Smith. Stay away from the Emory Dialysis Center at 610 Northside Drive in Atlanta unless for medical treatment. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And we are requesting a social worker visit. It does not appear that the defendant was seeking any sort of medical treatment at the time at that location when this incident happened. That's all for the state.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. DeCesar is 33 years old. He's lived in Atlanta since he was 8 years old, so a very long time. He did some college at Valdosta State University, and he was previously working at 2 restaurants, Rusty Taco as a fry cook, and then at a barbecue restaurant as a dishwasher. He does not know the alleged victim in this case. He's okay with no contact. He's okay with stay away. He's not able to pay the $1,000 bond. I will note, according to the pretrial report, he's never been convicted of any type of crime, either misdemeanor or felony. Pretrial is recommending a signature bond through the jail, and that is what we would ask for. Mr. DeCesar is not able to pay any bond, so we would ask for a UJR through the jail.
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, a social worker visit to assess for BHET, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Was, Your Honor, was that a level 2?
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
Position number 16, Howard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Howard. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005312C with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was August 12th, 2024 out of Fulton County for criminal trespass. They have 18 total arrest cycles. Misdemeanor conviction in 2025 for criminal trespass. Also in 2025, battery family violence, showing that they're on probation on that case. The number is 22 CR 002475C. There is a 2015 felony conviction for fleeing and attempting to elude. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Judge. So this took place September 4th, 2025. This was law enforcement responded to a call about a person refusing to leave a MARTA bus. Officers got on the bus, and as he did before with the bus driver, he refused to exit, demanded to be taken back to East Point MARTA after having ridden the bus, I believe, a few times around and just not getting off. They were trying to get his name and date of birth. He refused to provide it, walked further into the bus. Officers followed him, and he turned around swiftly and approached the officer, arms flexed in a threatening manner. The defendant was pushed backward, but then approached again, forcing officers to place him into cuffs at that time. At that point, he resisted, trying to pull away, and there was a wrestling match that ensued. They were eventually able to detain him. The state's recommendation, I mean, you heard about a few recent convictions, but in addition to that, there are two 2025 FTAs. One was for that battery family violence case that pretrial mentioned. So the bond's currently set at $1,000 surety. We recommend it remain set. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and a social worker visit for BHET.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Howard is 31 years old. We do have a good address for him on file to receive court notices. He's lived in Georgia his entire life, or Atlanta his entire life. He has one child who's 14 years old. Most of his family is also in Georgia. He did go through the 10th grade and has been working for the past 4 years doing construction and day labor. So he does have very strong ties to the community, Judge. He's not able to pay anything for bond, so we would ask for a signature bond.
Okay. It will be $1,000 good bond, social worker visit to assess for BHET, and housing if necessary. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Ms. Pinto, I will see him back on, if he doesn't get out on the September 23rd SAP calendar. If you could have your colleagues report to me, I'm happy to, regarding the social worker visit, I'm happy to reassess at that time. I want to make sure that he has a good place to go, and that that we're doing the best that we can by him.
Yes, and I'll request that today, Your Honor.
Very good, thank you.
Position number 6, Bergen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bergen. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005354Y with loitering and prowling. Is there a history? Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September 3rd, 2019, out of Calera, Alabama for open container. They have 11 arrest cycles out of Alabama. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at the MARTA located at, 41 10th Street Northeast. Officers observed the defendant at the Midtown MARTA station prowling around the corner where individuals lock up their scooters and bikes. He was also hiding behind a pillar. He then was witnessed attempting to walk away with property not belonging to him. At that point, he was taken into custody. The defendant, to the state's understanding, does not appear to have any ties with this community. As you heard, he has 11 cycles, all in Alabama and outside of the state of Georgia. We are concerned for both the behavior on this incident as well as his lack of sufficient ties with the community. The defendant currently has a $10,000 surety bond set by the magistrate court. We are agreeable to reducing that to a $1,000 surety bond, stay away from all MARTA, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's all for the state.
Thank you, Ms. Pinto.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Bergen is 39 years old. We do have a good address for him on file. For mail, he has lived in Atlanta for about 7 years. He is from Alabama originally, but he's been here for a significant amount of time at this point. He does have a 1-year-old or one child who is 8 years old. He did some college and has his CDL, and he had been working at Felgra Transportation for 2.5 years. Unfortunately, he recently had to go on disability after a diagnosis of both lung cancer and congestive heart failure. We are concerned about him being in the jail, especially given his health. And this is a loitering charge, Judge. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 1, and we would ask for a signature bond. I'll note that his last arrest was according to pretrial, was in 2019, which is, 6 years ago. And that Calera PD arrest, he thinks might actually be a mistake. So he does have, sufficient ties, given the nature of the charge and his, condition. We would ask for the signature bond.
Your Honor, I will just respond. It is kind of interesting because the address that they have on the warrant, which it's never been arrested by our jurisdiction before, so I'm not sure how they got that address, but an address was given to them that was placed on the warrant, and that address is also in Alabama.
Okay. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Abide by any MARTA restrictions. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Bergen.
Number 21, Ms. King.
Good afternoon, Ms. King. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005377J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was August 4th, 2018, out of Fulton for criminal trespass, battery family violence, and aggravated assault. That is their only arrest cycle. Nothing further to report.
Who's presenting for the state?
Yes, Judge Marietta
Oh,
Battle here for the state. Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Ms. Evans-Battle.
Yes, in this particular case, on about September the 7th of 2025, Ms. King officers responded to the location of 1250 Dunley Avenue Southwest, Apartment B in Atlanta, Georgia. Officer Henderson met with the caller, who was Miss Jessica King. Ms. King indicated that her daughter is bipolar and was off her medication at the time. A Grady bus had come to the location, and Ms. Shekinah King refused an evaluation. The officers indicated to Ms. King that this was a civil matter between the parties, and as Officer Henderson started to leave, Ms. King had to flag him down again. And I'm sorry, flag her down again and ask for her assistance. Ms. Shekinah King asked for her belongings to be removed from the resident, as Officer Henderson was attempting to assist her in doing that. She ran towards Mr. Dennis Clark, who is a member of the household, and she started scratching and grabbing at him. She hit him. And then Ms. King had apparently been living in the home for approximately 2 months. At this time, the state is asking for a bond in the amount of $1,500. We are asking that it be a signature bond, that she have no further violent contact with Mr. Dennis Clark, that she complete an anger awareness assessment, and of course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
No objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As such, it will be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with the alleged victim, and an alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. King.
Thank you.
Judge, you said 1,500, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Number 7, Chancey.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chancey. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005356E with disorderly conduct, simple battery, and public drunk. Is there a history?
The last arrest was June 11th, 2025, out of Irving, Texas, for a liquor violation. There's 29 total arrest cycles, arrests out of Ohio, Texas, and South Carolina. There's a 2014 DUI out of Ohio, 2021 out of Texas, driving while intoxicated, and 2022 obstructing highway passage. There are 3 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. There appears to be a hold out of Toledo, Ohio for an FTA, and the date of that is August 14th, 2020. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Ms. Falk.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to check on one thing. Okay, so Your Honor, this incident happened at the Origin Hotel at 110 Mitchell Street Southwest. Officers responded to a report of a person attacking other individuals at the hotel. The officer spoke with the concierge, who directed them to the defendant. His shirt was covered in blood stains. He was detained and placed in the patrol car. The officers then spoke with Tracy McCowan, who was the manager at that location. She stated that he was a guest and acting disorderly within the hotel. He was yelling and threatening the staff and the patrons. He pushed one employee and punched another hotel customer, and then threw glasses and spit in Miss McCowan's face. He also was yelling that he had a gun and he was going to shoot the place up. The defendant was charged with the disorderly conduct, and his belongings were taken from the hotel, so he has no reason to return to that location. We are asking, as you've heard, Your Honor, his history is all outside of the state of Georgia. He is a multi-state offender with offenses out of multiple different states, including most recently 3 months ago out of Texas. So I believe he has no sufficient ties to this community. We are asking for a $3,000 surety bond, $1,000 per count. No further contact with Tracy McCowan. Stay away from the Origin Hotel at 110 Mitchell Street Southwest in Atlanta. We are also going to request a social worker visit due to the erratic and violent nature of the behavior at the scene that night. That's all for the state.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Chansey is 40 years old. He did just move to Atlanta from Texas for a job. He is supposed to be working at YKK Company doing metal fabrication. He has been in custody since August 15th. He was in the Atlanta City Detention Center on city charges, and then I guess this county decided to take up the case, and he was transferred to Fulton. He does have family in Georgia. He has cousins who live here. He graduated high school. He doesn't know the victim. He's okay with stayaways and no contact. According to pretrial, he's never had any failures to appear or so, you know, we are asking for a bond that he can afford, which at this point, especially given how long he's been in custody, is only a signature bond.
And Your Honor, if you'll just give me a moment, because I am showing that, just wanted to point out for the court's edification, the date of the warrant is, let's see, September 4th of 2025 at 1 a.m. and the warrants were actually put into the jail system September 6th of 2025. So the state would argue this is not a Riverside issue. Whether he was held on citations earlier is not the state's concern as far as Riverside is concerned. It's from the time the warrant is actually issued.
Okay, it will be $1,000 good bond per charge, makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the Origin Hotel on Mitchell Street. It appears that there's some issues with alcohol, so I want there to be an alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary, and also random screens. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Chanson.
Number 5 is the Basemore.
And Your Honor, did Your Honor order a social worker visit on that last case or no? I know you ordered no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, random screens.
Yes, no, I social worker visit.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bazemore, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005353G with criminal trespass and fare evasion. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was July 31st, 2023 out of Riverdale for theft by shoplifting. That is their only arrest cycle, nothing further.
Ms. Falk?
State's agreeable to an SOB through pretrial services. Stay away from MARTA, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He already has a criminal trespass from that location, which is what led to his arrest on this occasion, and had evaded the fare at the MARTA station on this date. That's all for the state.
Ms. Pinto?
We have no objection to signature bond, Judge.
All right, it will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial on each count, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from or abide by any MARTA restrictions and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Number 4, Mr. Barnwell.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barnwell. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005350D with simple assault and pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, I'm showing this is the first arrest.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. I also want to point out that the defendant is, let's see, make sure my math is correct, 19 years of age. He was 19 years at the time of this offense. This occurred at the Walmart parking lot at 844. Let's see, 844. I apologize. Cleveland Avenue Southwest in East Point. Officers spoke with Joseph Medlock, who stated he was backing out of a parking space when the defendant was standing in the middle of the aisle on his phone. Mr. Medlock then honked his horn for the defendant to move, and that's when the defendant pulled out a black pistol from his waistband, pointed it at him while stating, "Come on." He described the defendant to Walmart employees and to the officer. Walmart Loss Prevention was able to review the security footage and show the defendant matching the description of the gentleman that was described by Mr. Medlock, walking into a Walmart with a black pistol tucked in his waistband. He was seen working at Jay's Car Wash across the street from the Walmart. And he still had the black pistol tucked in his waistband when he was approached by officers. I'm not sure if he is actually a Walmart employee or not. It's unclear. The victim believed he was. However, the warrant states that he was actually working across the street at Jay's Car Wash. We did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Medlock. He said that he had never seen the defendant before this incident. He wants to ensure that there was no retaliation because the defendant was arrested. He stated that a no further contact will help him feel more at ease, and he believed the defendant to be a Walmart employee due to his vest, but was unsure due to the employee being armed while on the clock. He stated that he just wants no further contact with this individual. Your Honor, I will tell you that due to the seriousness of this case and the fact that a gun was pointed at someone, we actually have recommended this case to the DA's office. We are waiting for a response from the DA. Unfortunately, our contact point has been in court all day today. But we are going to ask for a $10,000 surety bond, no further contact with Joseph Medlock. Stay away from 844 Cleveland Avenue Southwest in East Point, which is the Walmart. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Surrender any firearms to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. No firearms whatsoever. And we're also going to ask for 8 weeks of anger management. I will state that there is already a $5,000 surety bond set by the magistrate court, and we would ask that that not be reduced due to the seriousness of this offense. Anytime a gun is pointed at another individual, we consider that to be very serious indeed, which is why we're asking for a felony transfer. We would like to sound for Mr. Medlock at this time, and that's all for the state.
Mr. Medlock is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Barnwell is 19 years old. He's lived in Atlanta for about 2 years. He does have family here in Georgia as well. He does have his GED. As noted by pretrial, this is his first arrest. He does not know the alleged victim in this case, so he's happy to have no further contact. I will note that I think there's more to the story, and that Mr. Barnwell reports that he was acting in self-defense in this case. So at this point, I understand the allegations are serious, but they are simply allegations. And given his lack of history, we would ask, and that pretrial has recommended a signature bond at supervision level 1. That is what we would also ask for.
$7,000 good bond for the pointer, $4,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $5,000 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Medlock. Stay away from the Walmart on Cleveland Avenue. Relinquish all firearms. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Barnwell.
What was your total? You said
You-
5,000, but we
yes.
didn't hear the first one on simple assault.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 5,000 total, so 1,000 for the simple assault, 4,000 for the pointing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's just was breaking up a little bit.
Who do we have next?
Next, I have number 30, Mr. Taylor.
How you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Taylor. Let's see. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005370J with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harding?
No, Your Honor, no history to report at this time.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident was from November 14th of 2023. It was at South Atlanta High School at 800 Hutchins Road, Southeast Atlanta. There was a disturbance that police responded to, and the essentially what happened is the defendant's child was not being allowed into the school, and in anger, the defendant threw a drink at the principal of the school. Patricia Ford is her name. That drink got all over the driver's side door and also exterior and interior. The state's recommendation for this case is a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with Patricia Ford, and stay away from the South Atlanta High School. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Ford at this time.
So maybe Mr. McClain can clear this up for me, Mr. Sirocco. He appears to be, what, 18 years old? And you said that there was an issue with his child at this high school?
Excuse me, you're right, hold on. Oh, excuse me. That was misread. It was the defendant's aunt that was angry and yelling about the nephew not being able to be enrolled in the school, and it was the defendant who threw the drink they were in the passenger's seat of the aunt's vehicle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Yes, Mr. McClain.
Yes, he is 18. I've spoken with his family about making sure that he doesn't miss court. We would ask the court to follow the state's recommendation. He's 18, 12th grade. McCormick and Schmidt is his first job.
So does Mr. Taylor attend South Atlanta High School? Is he a student at that school?
I just asked him about the job. Ms. Taylor, can you answer the judge's question about what he's doing working that job now?
I can't hear you, Mr. Taylor. Do you attend South Atlanta High School?
No, sir, I don't attend South Atlanta.
Okay. Do you attend high school at all?
Yeah, I go to Phoenix. I'm attending Phoenix Academy. I'm getting a road there.
All right. Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Taylor.
Number 30, Williams.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005372B with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Is this position number 32?
Yes,
This is the first arrest.
thank you. Mrs. Rocca?
Thank you, Judge. This was from September 6th of this year at the 844 Cleveland Avenue Walmart in East Point. There was a theft by shoplifting call that officers responded to. The defendant was observed on security cameras concealing a number of items in his book bag, jewelry and various miscellaneous items totaling roughly $170. He was ultimately stopped and arrested. The current bond is set at $780 surety. The state would be fine with a reduction to a signature bond through pretrial. Stay away from the Walmart at 844 Cleveland Avenue, Southwest and East Point, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. McLean?
No objection, Your Honor. He does have a job. He's a senior in high school, and he has a job at Shoe Show, which is in the same complex right there as Walmart. You need to instruct him very carefully about how to avoid being at Walmart or looking like he's in the parking lot at Walmart if he's working at Shoe Show, because I'm not familiar with how close that store is.
I'm familiar. It's quite a way. It's a whole different area. So the Walmart is separate from the other area. So he should not have any problem staying away from the Walmart property.
Excellent.
As such, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Walmart on Cleveland Avenue. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
Number 22, Legaspi.
Good afternoon, Mr. McGaskey. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005358B with 2 counts of battery family violence and 3 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harding?
The last arrest was December 11, 2017 out of Fresno, California for robbery. They have 2 total arrest cycles out of California. There was a felony conviction in 2017 for accessory to a crime. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This happened on September 7th at 396 Piedmont Avenue Northeast in Atlanta. Officers were called out to that location and spoke with Miss Jacaria Moore. Miss Moore stated they observed on Miss Moore visible scratches, bruises, and cuts on most of her arms. She stated she had met the defendant on July 10th on a Facebook dating app. She had traveled from North Carolina to Atlanta on July 10th and had remained living with the defendant since that time. Fast forward to September 7th, she said that she could not recall, but she had decided to leave a tailgate party to head back home. And when she arrived at the apartment, he was waiting at the door. She walked inside to gather her belongings. And when she went into the bathroom, he grabbed her phone, hurled it across the apartment, and proceeded to grab, punch, and push her around the apartment. She stated that he punched her twice on the left side of her face and that she swung her hands out at him and grabbed onto the television, screamed for help, and managed to run out of the apartment and hid inside of the building itself. She stated that she came out of hiding when she saw the police, and that's when officers made contact with her. Due to the screaming, it was a neighbor who actually called 911, and the defendant was taken into custody. We are requesting, as you've heard, the defendant has a history out of California that includes robbery and accessory to a crime. We're asking for a $7,000 surety bond, $2,000 on each of the family violence batteries, $1,000 on the remaining charges, no further contact with Jakira Moore, one-time police escort to ensure that Miss Moore is not at the residence. The defendant can return if she is not. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no firearms. She did confirm, we did have an opportunity to speak with Miss Moore. She confirmed the events in the warrant, and she stated she is relocated back to North Carolina since the dispute and wants to refrain from having any contact, that she is in fear of the defendant and any retaliation that he may take on her due to his arrest. And she did confirm, as I stated, the events that they had been living together for 4 months and the events that occurred that caused the police to be called. We will sound for her at this time, although she has stated she does not wish to appear on the Zoom in case she would like to speak. And that's all for the state.
Ms. Moore is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, 27-year-old Mr. McGaskey, excuse me, sir. Oh, gosh. Okay. 27-year-old Mr. McGaskey is a Georgian. He's been here for a half a decade, so he's local now. And he has a professional license. He is a high school graduate and has a certification in his profession. He works in real estate, and also he has a job that involves catering flights at the catering to flights at the Atlanta airport. We would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond, a surety bond, a signature bond if that is possible. And if it is not, then we would ask the court to consider a $1,000 regular bond or possibly $1,500. Thank you.
For each of the batteries will be a $1,000 good bond. For each of the simple batteries will be a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $3,500 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Moore. You can go back to the Piedmont Avenue address with a police escort. If Ms. Moore is not at the residence, he can remain there. If she is, he must gather his belongings and find someplace else to live. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. Mr. McLean, your client has his hand up.
I'll call the 206 number right now if we can go to another case.
I think you said, I think he's gonna call you or something. What did you say, McLean? I'm sorry, you kind of went in and out.
I'm going to call him on the desk phone and answer his question right now.
Go ahead and have a seat over there. Okay. Well, McLean, we still got 2 more cases for you.
Well, just hold on to him then. Thanks.
McLean, Mr. McLean, he didn't have a question about the case. He was just saying that was where his residence he had to stay from. That was all.
Oh, that was stated. The state stated that.
Judge, that was a $3,500 good bond, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Position number 23, Mr. Moore.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005375J was driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and failing to report striking a fixed object. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was August 1st, 2020 out of Sandy Springs for a DUI. That did result in a misdemeanor conviction. There's 2 total arrest cycles. They have a 2019 DUI as well. Nothing further.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hardy. What year was that first? Was that first DUI?
They have one in 2019 and one in 2020.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Evans-Banner.
Yes, Your Honor. Officer Johnson received a report on September the 6th of 2025 from an employee of the Advanced Auto located at 10825 State Bridge Road. And the employee indicated that Mr. Moore had hit a mailbox. Mr. Moore had came to the location and reported that as he was turning into the drive, he hit the mailbox, but he did not leave any information or exchange any information with the employee. The officer was able to track Mr. Moore down, based upon the description of his vehicle and the tag registration. Mr. Moore had indicated that he had in fact been drinking prior to hitting the mailbox. Officer Johnson noted Mr. Moore was having trouble walking and fell several times walking to his car. He smelled alcohol, had pinpoint pupils, and slurred speech. He attempted to perform standardized field sobriety tests, including HGH, and he hit on 6 out of 6 clues for impairment. He could not perform the walk and turn portion of the evaluation, and he was thereafter charged with DUI and hitting the fixed object. We would ask that there's a $5,000 bond. We'd ask for a $5,000 surety bond in this particular case. That's our recommendation, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, Mr. Moore is 64. His last job was as a security officer at a particular school location. Your Honor, he lives on Morton Road in Alpharetta, and he lives in a garage apartment, which is, well, yeah, they call them garage apartments. So an apartment above a garage in a separate building. And so he has a landlord, but his landlord may or may not know where he is, and he doesn't remember any phone numbers. This causes him to be in a situation where he's going to be stuck in the jail if he can't reach anybody. We would ask the court to consider the bond. I realize there's a 2019 and a 2020 DUI case. My request might be, nonetheless, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond if that helps him get out. Otherwise, simply the lowest bond possible on surety. Thank you.
For the failure to report, $1,000 good bond. For the DUI, a $2,000 good bond makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Moore.
Sure, thank you.
Number 18, Mr. James.
Good afternoon, Mr. James. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005369Y with possession and use of drug-related objects. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September 12th, 2025, out of Gwinnett County for a probation violation. They have 56 total arrest cycles in Georgia. There's 4 felony convictions outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2020 felony conviction for forgery, 2024 possession of a firearm. There are 7 misdemeanor convictions outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2024 criminal trespass and obstruction. Nothing further to report.
Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. On September the 7th of 2025 at 170 Piedmont Avenue Southwest, Officer Baker saw Mr. James going through the MARTA, Georgia State train station behind another customer without paying the $2.50 fare. Upon search incident to arrest, the officer was able to locate a burnt glass pipe with steel wood inside, used to, of course, to inhale controlled substances. He also concealed in a sock marijuana less than an ounce. NCIC, GCIC noted that a permanent ban from MARTA had gone into effect on March the 28th of 2025. Your Honor, considering this significant history that Mr. James has, we are asking for a $2,000 bond surety as to each of the counts before the court at this time.
Thank you. Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, Mr. James has an 8th grade education. He's on disability. He's been a member of PAD, he tells me, for 6 years. We would ask the court to grant a signature bond or the lowest possible surety under circumstances. Obviously, Your Honor, we're going to have a social worker speak with him.
Okay, it will be $1,000 good bond. I want to have a social worker visit to assess for a BHET or possible housing. If there's a permanent ban for MARTA, then he's to stay away from MARTA. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And if you'll have social worker report back to me for the SAP calendar on September 23rd, that would be helpful.
Let's see, before September 23rd. Thank you.
And Judge, if just clarification, is that $1,000 each or in total?
My calendar only has a possession and use of drug-related objects.
That's all I have.
I made note that he had a fair evasion, a less than an ounce, and possible criminal trespass, but my calendar doesn't indicate anything other than a possession. And
I know I've been having computers. I made the accusations and they should have been filed at the same time.
okay.
I'll go ahead and see if I can file them down, Miss Bridgewater.
Okay, and the other charge is gonna be fair evasion?
Yes. It's fair evasion, the criminal trespass, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
Your Honor, you want to go ahead and give me a bond amount on those, or you want to just wait and come back to it to see if it's going to be actually filed out?
Okay.
And I know that there's currently a bond on each one of them for $1,000.
And Miss Bridgewater, I just filed those down in case you want to take a look.
Okay, so we have possession and use of drug-related objects. We have fair evasion, and what is the other?
Possession of marijuana less than an ounce and criminal trespass.
Okay, let me make sure I have this right. The charge on the calendar says possession and use of drug-related objects.
Yes.
Then we have fair evasion.
Yes.
And then we have criminal trespass. What you said? How many charges are we having altogether?
There are 4 charges.
Okay. Okay, I have the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and what was the other one?
Criminal trespass.
Okay, I got them all now. Now,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, you want to give me a bond amount?
Okay, 500, so 500 on each charge, so it will make it for a total of 2,000.
2,000, okay.
Okay? And
Okay,
you got the, you got the other conditions, Ms. Bridgewater?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You having a, Ms. Lewis, I see your face, you all right? Okay,
I was just letting Ms. Bridgewater, I see them in there. I'm filing them down right now.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
thank you.
Judge, I do have quite a few announcements to give you, Judge. Let me know.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, for position number 8, that's going to be a medical reset. Ms. Cole.
Okay, position 8, medical reset until 9:10 until Wednesday, okay?
For position number 13, that's going to be a reset MH.
That will be also for the 10th. Okay,
For position number 20, they waive their appearance.
okay,
Position number 24, Mr. Torin Mott, he's located at South Annex.
24 was a transfer to the DA.
And I did send that transfer order to Miss Bridgewater for your signature, Your Honor.
thank you.
For position number 26, Ms. Redding,
Mm-hmm.
she waived her appearance.
Okay,
Position number 28 also waived her appearance, or Mr. Sims.
Okay,
Also, position number 29, Souter, waived their appearance as well.
okay.
And that's it, Judge, for all of my announcements.
Would Souter like for me to sign his name to a waiver form?
What? Wait, I'm sorry, McLean, what did you say?
Does Mr. Souter wish for me to sign his name to one of our waiver forms like Redding and Sims did?
Yeah, you talked to.
You actually spoke to them, McLean.
Yes, and I got certain waivers. Souter wants to waive. I'll waive him too if he'd like for me to sign his name.
Yeah, that's what he told you.
But yeah, he already told you he wanted to waive his appearance.
Okay, I understand.
Judge, did you want to go over the all the cases that waived their appearance?
No, I have them, so I'm clear on who the waivers are. Are the other people that we have on the calendar, are they at the South Annex? Or are they at ACDC?
Correct, ACDC.
Okay, so I don't see ACDC on, so why don't I just go ahead and do the waivers now, if that's okay with you?
Perfect, thank you, Judge.
Okay, so we'll just start at the top as far as the waivers go and just go down the calendar while we wait for ACDC to get on. All right, the first waiver, I believe, is position number 20. Ken Dundu, who's charged in case 25 CR 005374J with driving under the influence of drugs. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was July 30th, 2024 out of Fulton for theft by taking. And that case is open under 25 SC 003954. They have 2 total arrest cycles. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor, as to
It's Mr.
oh,
Cunningham.
yes, okay, I have it. As to this is, yes, driving less safe. It appears that the officer was dispatched to 705 Babbling Creek by Karen Kemp, who is a mail carrier, and indicated that she was being harassed by the defendant driving through the neighborhood. He was turning donuts and that he called her a bitch. Once the officer made contact with Mr. Contadoda, I'm sorry. He conducted had a conversation with him, who he indicated that he had in fact came into the neighborhood, that he was attempting to turn around, that she stopped in front of him and very quickly, and that he did in fact call her out of her name. The officer conducted HGN and observed 3 of 3 clues. In each eye during the testing, he was unable to stand with his arms raised without leaning against the back of the car. He indicated that he takes medication for ADHD, Valvance and Valium, and that he had taken his medication. We are asking that bond be a surety bond in the amount of $2,500. That would be our recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I am asking for a signature bond for my client. He has no significant criminal history. And also, Your Honor, based on what he tells me, it seems that there's some kind of misunderstanding or some kind of failure to communicate between himself and this postal carrier. So I don't think there was, It was just a situation where there must have been some kind of issue where she had stopped in front of him and thought she was gonna crash. She said something to her, and he tells me that she was actively arguing with him, Your Honor, and she called the police. So he was the one who got arrested, and of course he was in charge with anything with relation to her. He is charged with driving under the influence less safe. It sounds to me like he does have a medication, prescribed medication that he may take. And I don't really know what the status was, but no formal checks were done. I think the officer just did some kind of a random roadside check, Your Honor, so we don't know that he was actually under the influence of anything. But I would definitely ask for signature bond for him, given what is alleged.
Okay, will be a $5,000 signature bond for pretrial level 1. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. The next in line is
Thank you, Your Honor.
position. You're welcome. Position number 26, I believe, Josephine Redding, charged in case 25 CR 005305Y with giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
They have 72 arrest cycles. In the last 10 years, there's a 2019 misdemeanor conviction for disorderly conduct, a felony conviction in 2017 for aggravated assault. Nothing further to report.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. This incident was from September 5th of this year. It was at 121 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. That is where the officer had conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle whose records check showed that the owner had an active arrest warrant. That owner being the defendant. The officer made contact with the driver, who falsely identified herself as Barbara Redding, and claimed the registered owner was her sister, but she was the registered owner, it was her. It appears that she refused multiple commands to remove them before eventually complying. Speaking about her hands, she put them in her pants, and there was a wallet in her pants that ultimately identified her as Josephine Redding. I see 2 FTAs within the past 5 years, one from 2020 and one from 2022. Given those FTAs, the state's recommendation here is a $1,000 surety on the risk of failing to appear. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I just want to confirm that she's not currently being held on an FTA. So we can proceed with we can turn it over to defense. I'll get back to the court. Thank you.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, 10th grade education. She does crocheting and sewing for a living. I should warn her that the phone number I called for her family is not working, so I'm going to come to the jail and get another emergency phone number to reach her family. Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond if that's not possible, then a $1,000.
And on that, what I was thinking of was the felony probation violation that she's being held on as well. So that's what that was.
All right, it will be $1,000 good bonds, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. The next in line is position 20.
I'm sorry, Judge. Can you repeat your bond? I didn't hear you.
$1,000 good.
Thank you.
Next in line is position 28, Daniel Sims, charged in case 25 CR 005362Y with criminal trespass, possession and use of drug-related objects, and tampering with evidence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was August 10th, 2025 out of APD for possession and use of drug-related objects. There's 40 total arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Florida. There are 2 misdemeanors outside the last 10-year period. There's a felony conviction in 2018 for possession of controlled substance with intent. There's an open case for possession of cocaine with intent, and that number is 23 SC 185970. Nothing further.
Mr. Rocco?
Thank you, Judge. So this incident took place September 6th, 2025. This was at 514 Sunset Avenue in Atlanta. Law enforcement was patrolling the area. And when the officer observed 2 individuals, one of whom was the defendant, at the rear of the location, the 514 Sunset. It's a apartment. They were near the open door of the vacant apartment there. The officer, both individuals, like upon sight, had attempted to leave the area. Defendant was heard saying, "We gotta go," to the other individual. Officer told them both to stop and come to his patrol vehicle for identification. The investigation revealed that the defendant had previously been arrested, that August 10th arrest, for a similar offense during which he was found wearing a ski mask and in possession of suspected crack pipes and needles. While he was detained here, he had tried to discard a cylindrical glass pipe with white residue on it and a Brillo pad in it, identified commonly by the officer as a crack pipe. And yes, he was placed under arrest. Number of drug-related convictions, theft as well, over the course of his 39 cycles. The most recent was the possession of cocaine conviction from 2021. But I will note as well, there was I did see several FTAs. There was a fugitive arrested in Florida for a Georgia offense out of Coweta County. While that was 2013, there is a more recent FTA from 2022. And yeah, as pretrial stated, there is that open case for possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. Given the facts here, including the officer's discovery of that other similar incident from the 10th and his history, in addition to the recent 2022 FTA, there's a risk of failing to appear and reoffense. The state's recommendation is a reduction from the present $3,000 surety total bond that is currently in place to a $1,000 surety total, $500 on the criminal trespass, $250 for each of the possession, use of drug-related objects, and tampering charges. We're recommending a social worker visit for housing, a stay away from 514 Sunset Avenue, Northwest in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. McClain?
Thank you, Your Honor. He's 54. Mr. Sims has worked in another county's watershed department, doing the type of labor they do, which is actually very heavy labor and somewhat skilled as well. He lives with his sister on North Avenue, 30318. So he doesn't have a housing problem, but he does have some issues. He asked the court for fair bond. His request was pretty simple.
For the criminal trespass, $500 good. For the other two, $250 good. Makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. The next in line, I believe, is position 29, Curtis Suter, charged in case 25 CR 005364C with 2 counts of battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was November 26, 2024. out of Fulton for simple battery. And that case is open under 24 CR 007809F. They have 3 total arrest cycles. There was a misdemeanor conviction in 2018 for disorderly conduct. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Thank you, Judge. And if I could elaborate a little bit on that history, the 2018 conviction for the disorderly conduct, that one was pled down from this, it was aggravated, it was either aggravated assault or battery. I'll check on that in a second. But in any case, he was convicted of that as well as battery, terroristic threats and acts, which was pled down from felony terroristic threats and acts, in addition to the disorderly conduct. And that was against the same victim as we have here, Miss Cassandra Culpepper, the defendant's mother. That was for striking her with a metal pole in his hand and also his hands, leaving lacerations, bruising, swelling, and threatening to kill her. The the open case it was an arrest for simple battery family violence is currently it's 2 counts of simple assault family violence, that 24 CR ending in 7809F. That is from November of last year. Again, the same victim here. He was arrested and subsequently charged for chasing her aggressively and swinging his fists at her. He was given a $3,000 total signature bond on November 26th, and was ordered to have no further violent contact with her and as well the defendant's sister, Alicia Culpepper, and to stay compliant with prescribed medications. He is in violation of his bond in that case with this case, so we will be pursuing a bond revocation that I will be filing by end of day. I will mention as well, this appears to be distinct from the other arrest that was made prior to the arrest for that case, also for simple battery family violence, just a few months prior. I don't have any information on that, but we'll be looking into it. This incident took place September 5th of this year at 1171 2nd Street, Northwest Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a physical altercation and spoke with the defendant and the victim here. Miss Cassandra Culpepper, the victim, had stated that the defendant, who is her son who lives with her, had punched her in the face during a verbal argument. It was observed that her lip was busted and bleeding. She explained this was her friends were visiting, 2 of her friends, the defendant was upset that they were playing music at a certain volume, yelled at them, told them to turn it down. Afterwards, even when they did, he continued to curse and yell at them, and they went outside. He followed them outside, calling them hoes with his fistball, the continued yelling. And when the victim asked the defendant to go back inside the house, he then punched her in the face. There are MH issues here. The defendant does, according to Ms. Culpepper, suffer from mental illness. She stated that the day of and when we spoke with her, and that they frequently have altercations that become physical. In our conversations with her, she stated that her son suffers from and has been diagnosed with excuse me, I'm not off the air here, but BPD judge, and they've been dealing with his MH episodes since he was 15. She states she has no fear for her safety because she, quote unquote, hits back. She states that this is an ongoing issue in the family, not just with the defendant, but her daughter as well, his sister. And sometimes that triggers his episodes. She does not believe that no further contact is necessary. She does believe, excuse me, that the defendant would be able to relocate with his grandmother if requested to leave the residence, and that she states he already receives treatment from a team that visits him 3 times a week, but she does not believe that her son's been honest about taking his medications. She is, I want to see if she's on. We would sound for her when appropriate. But I want to make sure that I include as well that we have listened to the jail calls. The defendant was asking her to bond him out, and she said, "You're going to have to call your father instead because you hit me in the face." And she stated that he has issues when she has company over. The state is incredibly concerned for the safety of this victim, with this being the third, potentially the fourth violent case against the same victim. One of those being a conviction and the other being an open recent case, of which he's in violation of his bond. So there's a substantial risk of reoffense here. We don't think that contact is appropriate here, especially given that whatever issues are persisting are not being maintained from all appearances with the treatment he's receiving or supposed to be receiving. So we are recommending no further contact and a stay away, as well as a $9,000 total surety bond, $4,000 on each battery family violence, $1,000 on the simple battery family violence. We're recommending FIB continue on prescribed medication and treatment, and no further contact with Cassandra Culpepper. Stay away from that 1171 2nd Street address in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And if we could sound for Ms. Culpepper.
Ms. Culpepper's on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
Oh,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
if I might, this was one where in chat we were asking about going into a private session to discuss certain mental health things, and I do have more detail. I think it would be appropriate for that detail, and I think she may be mentioning that detail.
Okay, that would have been helpful to know before we started the case, Mr. McLean, given that it's a waiver. We could have held this entire thing until the end.
Right.
I don't want to hold up court. Ms. Culpepper, I will be back with you, ma'am. ACDC, if you all are ready to go, I'll come back to Curtis Suter's case so that we can go.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
The ladies needs to hear their rights, and we're gonna start with Attorney McLeod's client.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
Position 1, Ms. Archery.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Archery. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005351G with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was January 17th, 2025 out of Sweetwater County, Wyoming for assault and battery. They have 18 total arrest cycles with, 25 total arrest cycles with arrests out of Georgia, California, Florida, Nevada, Minnesota, Wyoming, and North Carolina. There are there's 3 misdemeanor convictions outside the last 10-year period. There's a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for PI and simple battery. There is a 2025 possession of stolen property misdemeanor conviction. 2023 felony conviction for obstruction and interference with government property. They received first offender treatment on that, and it appears that it doesn't list the seal date. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at the Marshalls at 5932 Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. The defendant was with another defendant by the name of Dante Buford. They loaded up a shopping cart with clothing and other items with a total of $389.78. They then went past the registers and did not pay for any of the merchandise. The video was very clearly showed their faces as they were leaving the store. Clipped images were then sent to the detective and was used with facial recognition software. The individuals were then identified as Dante Buford and the defendant. This incident actually happened July 25th of 2025. I will point out that, as you've heard, the defendant is a multi-state offender. I do not believe she has any ties to the community. It doesn't appear. I think she had a most recent case outside of the state this year. And so I don't believe she has sufficient ties to the community at this point. We are asking for a $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from marshals at 5932 Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We're also going to request to stay away from a no further contact with Dante Buford, her co-defendant. That's all for the state.
Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 43 years old. I have spoken to her, and she says that on the date of the alleged incident, she was not in the state of Georgia on that particular date. She does travel out of state from time to time, Your Honor. But she does also, she lives in the state of Georgia. She currently lives in the state of Georgia, but she does travel outside of the state of Georgia from time to time. My understanding was that she does that for work, but she does maintain that she was not in the area, certainly not in the state of Georgia, and certainly not in Sandy Springs on this particular occasion, on the date in question. I would ask the court to consider signature bond for her. I didn't hear any factors which precludes her from getting a signature bond, no FTAs or anything like that. So that is what I would be requesting for her.
Actually,
Further,
Your Honor, she does have an FTA on April 5th, 2024. It's cycle 12 on her GCIC if you need to confirm with pretrial services.
Good bond. Stay away from the marshals on Roswell Road. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
What's the bond?
Your Honor, I did not hear.
$1,000 good bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 15, Ms. Hicks. You can hand.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hicks. You've been charged in case 25 CR 005365D with battery and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was July 29th, 2021, out of Fulton County for possession of cocaine and possession of a firearm. That case is showing open under 23 SC 188-515-01, and that is their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. The incident occurred June the 1st of 2025 at 1048 Hubbard Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Officer Young was the investigator on the case and indicated that Ms. Hicks, along with a Mr. McCain and Ms. Lawrence, proceeded in an argument with the victim, Takara Allen. At some point in time, they began hitting on her. She intentionally punched and kicked Ms. Allen, causing her to sustain a black eye and bruising about her body. I think that Ms. Allen, I'm not sure if she is on the call. I know our victim advocate spoke with her, and she indicated that she did not know Ms. Hicks personally, although she may have been, knew her just by familiar, facial recognition, but she didn't have any contact with her. And she also indicated that apparently the victim stated that her siblings and cousins were also injured in the incident. So it looks like it was an affray that went between all of the parties that would be involved in this particular case. So we are asking at this time that bond be set in the amount of $1,500 for each charge, that she have no further contact with Takara Allen. And I'm not sure the relationship she has with Mr. Kane or Miss Lawrence, but certainly that they not have any contact with each other at this particular time. And let me. And that's our recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. Based on my client's very limited history, I'm asking for a signature bond for her, Your Honor. Based on my discussions with her, it sounds like she doesn't have any real relationship with this alleged victim. So this may be just a case where she just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when something happened, in which she was really not involved to a great extent based on what she tells me. She just happened to be there, but it's based on what she's saying, she was not involved in what the state is saying that she did. It was other people. That's what it sounded like to me, Your Honor. At any rate, given her limited criminal history, I believe a signature bond is appropriate.
Okay, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Allen. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank
Next
you, Your Honor.
is position 25, Ms. Parham.
Good afternoon, Ms. Parham. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005359F with 2 counts of battery family violence and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June the 4th, 2009. It was a parole violation from the Department of Community Supervision. They have 7 total arrest cycles. Felony conviction in 2002 for possession of controlled substance. They received first offender on that, and it was sealed in 2002. 7 total cycles. Nothing further to report.
Thank you, Mr. Siraka.
Thank you. I will add as well, just prior to that, the year before, I saw an aggravated battery conviction from 2001. But on this incident, this took place September 5th, 2025 at 2952 Harlan Drive in East Point. Law enforcement responded to a fight call, spoke to both parties here. Speaking with the victim, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Faraji Jackson, he explained he lives with the defendant and he was going to pack some things and leave for a cooling off period, but decided to stay because he pays the rent. This was apparently over an active or incident or threat of jealousy. The defendant claimed, at least, that the victim slapped her over saying that she was going to invite a new boyfriend over to their shared residence. The officer observed no marks or anything on her. Mr. Jackson stated the defendant became irate because he wouldn't leave the home and started attempting to force him out. The defendant then grabbed him by the collar of his shirt and attempted to forcibly pull him out of their home, ripping his shirt, which the officer observed. And when Mr. Jackson pulled away, there was a defendant grabbed his neck. He was observed to have multiple lacerations on his neck and damage to the collar of his shirt. The defendant was arrested there. We have spoken with the victim, who stated he's been in a relationship with the defendant for 16 years. They're not married and have no children. He stated they have been arguing frequently the past few months. Nonetheless, he doesn't feel safe around the defendant. They were having a discussion while at work over the phone, which got heated and resumed when they made it home. He did not confirm whether or not this was the first physical dispute that they've had, but did say that there have been miscommunications that have transpired more frequently than in the past. I believe he is online. We asked the court sound for him when appropriate. I do want to add that we have listened to the jail calls between the victim and the defendant, wherein they accused each other of having lied to the police about the incident. The victim insisted he did nothing. She stated that he was the reason that she was in jail, so she blames him for her situation. And she also made an implied admission when she apologized to him during the conversation before then asking him to come get her out. Bond is not currently set. The state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services with FIB. And given that this took place only Friday, just a few days ago, over jealousy and living together issues, and that the defendant is still evidently blaming the victim for all of this, the state is not comfortable with no further violent contact only here. We're recommending no further contact, and we're not comfortable with them living together either, given the uptick in issues that they've had and what this looks like here. So we're requesting a stay away as well from 2952 Harlan Drive in East Point. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And again, if we could sound for Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I will need for you to activate your camera and unmute yourself, and I'll have to swear you in if you choose to address the court this afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Jackson, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, are you driving?
No, I'm not. I'm parked.
Are you on more than one device?
No. Oh, well, my Bluetooth is on. Hold on.
Okay, I need for you to, I'm
Let me
getting
see if I can
feedback
cut it
from
off.
you.
Okay, I cut it off.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, I can.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, sir. What would you like to tell the court, Mr. Jackson?
I would like to tell the court that I don't want to press any charges or nothing. I just want us to like separate or something we can do to stay away from each other.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Jackson?
No, that's all.
All right, thank you for being here this afternoon. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. We are agreeable to the signature bond, which the state has recommended, Your Honor. I believe my client told me she was the one who initially called the police. If the court decides that she cannot go back to this residence, she tells me that both their names are on the lease and that is where she lives. However, I understand the court gets to make the final determination. So if the court decides that she cannot go back there, then we would at least request a one-time police officer escort back to the location so that she is able to get her belongings. I would point out this has been a 16-year relationship, and it sounds like they've been having some arguments recently, but that is not unusual when people have been in relationships. And I don't know what the motive may have been here, but the fact of the matter is that my client maintains that the alleged victim did the injury to himself and did rip his shirt to make it seem to the police that she had done something when she had not in fact done anything to him, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, for each battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each simple battery, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Jackson. Stay away from the Harlan Drive address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. McLeod, thank you. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. On the same to you.
Next is position 3, Ms. Arnold.
Good afternoon, Ms. Arnold. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005361C with driving under the influence of alcohol, following too closely, and too fast for conditions. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was November 14th, 2022, out of Fulton County for false statement and reckless conduct. They have 4 total arrest cycles. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. She has had a conviction for DUI within the last 5 years, so I just wanted the court to be aware of that since apparently that was not read out. The incident happened on September 5th of 2025 at 2225 Moreland Avenue Southeast in Atlanta. The officers responded to a accident at that location. It was a 4-vehicle accident. The defendant was observed with alcohol on her breath, watery and bloodshot eyes, was loud and argumentative, refused field sobriety, refused to submit a test. While she was placed under arrest, the officers found a pill bottle with a translucent orange pill bottle with 32 pills that were identified as acetaminophen oxycodone hydrochloride, which is a Schedule II controlled substance. The label had actually been removed from the pill bottle. We did request as part of this case for a transfer to Superior Court due to the fact that she was in possession of a Schedule II controlled substance that was unlabeled and did not appear to be prescribed to her. We are still waiting, as with the other case, for a response from the DA's office. The following too closely and basic rules was due to the fact that she rear-ended a vehicle, which is what caused the accident, and then herself was rear-ended. We are asking for on this one, due to the fact that she does have a prior conviction for DUI, we are asking for a $5,000 split bond, $3,000 on the DUI, $1,000 surety on the following too closely, and a $1,000 signature bond on the basic rules. No driving, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, ADET. And we are also asking for random screens. I will say in the last, I believe she had a second DUI from, we're showing a second DUI also from 2014 in Pulaski County. However, it is not showing a disposition. The 2021 conviction for DUI is out of DeKalb County State Court. She was sentenced to 12 months, 1 day of jail, 40 hours community service, risk reduction, license suspension, victim impact panel. She did receive her first DUI affidavit, and she had ADET as part of her sentence then. I will say she also was arrested in 2022 for reckless conduct and false statements and writings. That was with the Atlanta Police Department. I am not showing a disposition for that. Wait, that offense was dismissed. So let me just correct that in 2023. That's all for the state.
Thank you, Ms. Pinto.
Thank you, Judge. Miss Arnold is 32 years old. She's lived in Atlanta her entire life. She does have one child who's 12 years old. Her whole family is here in Georgia. She graduated from Central Georgia Tech with a degree in criminology, and she has a good job working for code enforcement for South Fulton for the past 2 years. According to the pretrial report, she's never had a failure to appear. As was noted, her last arrest was in 2022, but that case was dismissed. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 1, and we would ask for a signature bond.
For each of the other charges will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, and alcohol drug evaluation and treatment if necessary.
Excuse me,
Good
Your
luck to you,
Honor.
Ms. Arnold.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
we had lost connection due to the connection being unstable, so I did not hear what you
Okay, that's fine. Two for the DUI, 2,000, good. For each of the other charges, 500, good. Makes for a total of 3,000, good. Okay. Ms. Pinto, your client has her hand up.
Do you have a question, Miss Arnold? I can call you or
Stated something about the bills. Those bills were already in the officer's car, which I stated to them. They did not have my name on it. They did not have my fingerprint. The last, not mine.
I can't hear her. I don't know if anyone else.
Okay, you'll have the opportunity to litigate this matter down the road, Ms. Arnold. This is just a bond hearing today, so you'll be able to bring up all those issues at a later date. Okay, good luck to you, ma'am.
Next is position 9, Miss Davis.
Good afternoon, Ms. Davis. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005355A with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was February 17th, 2018, out of Clayton County for simple battery family violence. They received first offender treatment on that. It was a misdemeanor conviction that was sealed in 2019. And that is their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Falk. Right there. You're on mute, Ms. Falk.
Thank you, Your Honor. This happened September 6, 2025 at 5830 Dodson Road in Union City. Defendant grabbed Mr. Matherson, Michael Matherson's hair, and while he was yelling various times to let him go, and was finally able to break free. There was video footage confirming the allegations. The two are living in the same household. Other than that 2018 case, we did not see another offense. However, given the fact that the 2018 case was also family violence in nature, we are asking for an SOB through pretrial services level 2. No further contact with Mr. I have Taiwan Michael Matheson. We are also requesting a stay away from 5830 Dodson Road in Union City. We are requesting FVIP or anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We would like to sound for Taiwan Matheson at this time. That's all for the state.
Mr. Matheson, I believe I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to unmute yourself and activate your camera for me.
It says, okay, hold on.
All right, there you go. Can you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I ain't trying to pursue any charges. I just be wanting her to, relax and, evaluate her situation. Like I said, we have kids together. It's my fiance. I don't want anything, dramatic to happen. I need her with the kids as well because I work, she works. That's pretty much it. I ain't trying to have her in jail. The kids go to school. I work, in the morning before they're off. So, I do need her, getting the kids off to school and stuff. And so it's not jeopardizing any one of our jobs. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Your Honor,
sir.
if I may ask Mr. Matheson 2 questions.
Of course, go ahead.
Mr. Matheson, good afternoon.
How you doing?
Doing well. Did you call the police in regards to this incident?
She had called the police first. And she was just saying little stuff. She want me gone. So then I had called them after.
Okay. And are you the one that provided the police with the video of her pulling your hair?
Yes.
And she did in fact pull your hair?
Yes.
That's all for the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. If I could just ask the witnesses too as well, actually. Mr. Matherson, you said you do want Miss Davis to be able to come home. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so presumably you're okay with you guys having contact?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Pinto.
Just regarding argument, Judge, Miss Davis is 27 years old. She's lived in the Atlanta area for over 10 years. She has 3 children, ages 5, 6, and 7, and she also cares for her mother's children, who are ages 17, 13, and 8. All of her immediate family resides in Georgia as well. She went to the 10th grade. She has a good job as a deli associate at Publix. She's been there almost a year. According to the pretrial report, she's never had a failure to appear. She only has 1 previous arrest, which was sealed under first offender, so it's not a conviction. Pretrial is recommending signature bond at level 1, and that is what we would ask for. And based on Mr. Matheson's testimony, we would also ask that she be allowed to return to their residence and that they be allowed to have no further or no violent contact, Judge.
Okay, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 8 days of anger awareness, no further violent contact with Mr. Matheson, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Appreciate it.
Next is position 11, Ms. Spear.
Good afternoon, Ms. Fair. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005363B with driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and following too closely. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was July 3rd, 2017, out of City of Atlanta for driving while license suspended or revoked. They have 2 arrest cycles in Georgia. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on September the 7th of 2025 at 5955 Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Officer Laguerre of South Fulton Police Department observed Ms. Fair operating her vehicle in an unsafe manner and that she struck his vehicle. TFC Officer Donaldson conducted the standardized field sobriety test with Ms. Fair. He observed 4 of 6 clues during the evaluation, including the one-leg stand. He observed an odor of alcohol beverage about her. During the investigation, he concluded based upon her standard field sobriety test results, the time that had elapsed between the collision and the testing, that she was in fact under the influence of alcohol to the extent that it was safe. She was also charged with following too closely for hitting the officer's vehicle in consideration of her prior to driving without license arrest. And this particular charge, we would ask that her DUI receive a surety in the amount of $2,500. And for the failure following too close, we would ask for $1,000. Both of those we'd ask for surety bonds.
Thank you. Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Fair is 39 years old. She's lived in the Atlanta area since she was 12. She does have 2 children, ages 16 and 9. And most of her family also resides in Georgia. She did do some college at Hiwassee College and at Atlanta Technical. She has a good job working as a dispatcher for Averick Express. It's a trucking company. She's been there almost 5 years. We would ask, I think there's no, I'm sorry. Pretrial recommended a signature bond at level 1, which we would ask for. If the court's not inclined to do a signature bond, we would ask that the total bond not exceed $1,000.
$1,500 good bond for the following too closely, a $500 good bond makes for a $2,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Mayor.
Next is position 12, Ms. Fitzgerald.
Good afternoon, Ms. Fitzgerald. You've been charged in case 25 CR 005373F with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June 24th, 2025 out of Fayette County for criminal trespass. They have 4 total arrest cycles. There's 2 misdemeanor convictions in 2025 for criminal trespass. There also appears to be a hold out of Fayetteville. The date of the warrant is August the 7th, 2025, and that's for a probation violation. Nothing further to report.
Yes, Ms. Evans-Brown.
Yes, on September the 6th of 2025, Officer Bridges came to 1545 Northside Drive, Northwest in Atlanta. It appeared that employees of the Chevron gas station had repeatedly advised Ms. Fitzgerald to leave the premises, and she refused. Even as the officer came, she was refusing, stating that she was not leaving. At that time, of course, they arrested her. They determined that there is an outstanding warrant in Fayetteville. At this particular time, we are asking on the criminal trespass for a bond in the amount of $1,000 at this particular time. And I know that there's my understanding that the warrant was still outstanding.
Okay, anything further, Ms. Evans-Battle?
No, Judge. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Pinto.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Fitzgerald's 33 years old. She's lived in the Atlanta area for 3 years. She does have one child who's 13 years old, and she has an aunt who also resides in Georgia. She did graduate high school. The last job she had was working at Ingalls. According to the pretrial report, she's never had a failure to appear. Pretrial is recommending a signature bond at level 2. And given that it's a criminal trespass, and she only has 4 previous cycles, we would also ask for a signature bond, Judge.
It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Something's going on, so I want to have a social worker visit with her to assess for BHET or housing. Stay away from that Chevron on Northside Drive. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Fitzgerald.
Next is position 14, Ms. Gore.
Good afternoon, Ms. Gore. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005367E with battery, family violence, and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that Officer Matthews was called to 2551 Black Forest Trail, Southwest Atlanta. The victim in this particular case is her husband, Mr. Gore. He indicated that he and his wife were arguing over a Facebook post the previous evening. When he got up that morning, he indicated that he told her good morning. She again became upset. And he saw that she was upset. He attempted to walk away into the garage, and she grabbed him and started scratching him, leaving marks in his chest. We are asking in this case for $1,500 signature bond, no further violent contact with the victim, pretrial services. Level 1, I guess, based upon her not having prior history, and of course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's our recommendation, Judge.
Thank you. So I see you there. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If so, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. What would you like to tell the court?
Yes, sir. I just want to tell the court that I think this moment was just a poor misjudgment, a moment of misjudgment for my spouse. She's a professional. She's a nurse that works for Kaiser. She works from home, and we are currently working through some marital issues. We both go to individual counseling. We'll be married almost 9 years this month, and we also have a child of our own together that she's carrying right now. So I think that we can kind of work through it with our counselor individually and as a couple.
So you
say again, sir.
You want her to come home?
Yes, sir. I'm a retired veteran, military, 20 years, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gore. I appreciate you being here today.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pinto?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Gore is 45. She's lived in the Atlanta area her whole life. She is 5 months pregnant, as I think was stated by Mr. Gore. And she has an adult child who's 26 as well. Her whole family is here in Georgia. She did get her master's in nursing and works as a nurse at Kaiser. She's been there for 3 years. As was stated, this is her first arrest. Pretrial is recommending a signature bond through the jail, and we would ask for the same.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 for the simple battery. $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Five anger awareness classes. No further violent contact with Mr. Gore. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Yes, sir.
Next is position 17. Ms. Hall.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hall. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005376Y with simple battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
This is her first arrest.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. On September the 6th of 2025, Officer Watson responded to a dispute call at 3041 Landrum Drive, Southwest in Atlanta. He initially made contact with Miss Raquel Hull, wanting to remove Nakia from her apartment, which was Nakia Hull's legal residence. Miss Raquel Hull intended to lock her out. The officer advised her that she needed to go through the proper eviction process, as she had a right to re-enter her property, even if by force. Miss Hull attempted to re-enter the property of her parents, and they would not open the door. Miss Hull took a rock and broke a window. At that point, an argument ensued between Mr. Ulysses Hull and herself. She ran towards him and began striking him. Officer Watson attempted to intervene and commanded her to stop. She refused commands to stop, and he was wrestling with her in order to gain control of her to make the arrest. We're asking for a $1,500 signature bond on each particular charge. No further violent contact with Mr. Hull. It's my understanding, as part of the report, Mr. Hull did not want to press charges. Just to make the court aware of that, we are asking for anger awareness through pretrial services. That's our recommendation, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Hull, I see you on the line, Raquel Hull. If you'd like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, ma'am. And tell me, how are you related to Nakia?
I'm her mother.
Okay, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, Ms. Hall?
I mean, I just want her to come home to her baby. She got a 2-month-old baby. I don't have no problem. She stayed here. It was just out of anger that day that she was arguing. So she cannot be over here. So she has to be here because she stay here. I just wanted her to remove that day, but I don't have a problem with her being here. I really want her to be at home with her baby. Her baby just 2 months old.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hall. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Mr. McLean?
Not sure what to say, Your Honor. No objection. In the long run, something needs to be solved about the tensions and maybe, well, no objection.
All right, for the simple battery, will be $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the obstruction, $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all.
Next is position 19, Miss Jones.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jones. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005371C with terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was July 31st, 2012 out of Waycross for terroristic threats. They have one arrest cycle in Georgia. There was a misdemeanor conviction in 2012 for theft by shoplifting. And they got first offender treatment on that, and it was sealed in 2012. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Your Honor, in this particular case, it occurred September the 3rd of 2025. Officers Ponder and Bryant and other officers were called to the location of 4500 Shannon Boulevard. It appeared that Ms. Jones had gone to the home to do a welfare check on a child by the name of Deanna Lawrence. Her father, initially, I guess they reported someone was banging on the door. Her father came to the door, indicated that the child was fine, that Ms. Jones needed to leave. Ms. Jones was refusing to leave at that point. And once the officers arrived, she was arguing with the officers at some point and told Officer Bryant that she would kick his ass. As a result of that, there is a charge of terroristic threats. The state is actually asking for a bond in the amount of $2,000 for that it be a surety bond, that she have no further contact, of course, with the officers unless it's for a purpose of business with the state or those particular offices. And we are asking for anger awareness through pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, we would go with signature bond. The defendant has a box truck business with her husband. I spoke to her husband. He's driving right now. And she has a high school education. So we would ask the court to give her a signature bond.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the officer involved. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond, and 3 days of anger awareness. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next is position 27.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005360D with simple battery and theft of service. Is there a history,
The last arrest was July 17th, 2025 out of Brookhaven for criminal trespass and simple assault. They have 8 total arrest cycles with arrests out of Georgia, Virginia, Florida, and Maryland. There's a 2024 misdemeanor conviction out of Florida for petty theft. It appears that they're on probation for criminal trespass, simple battery to law enforcement. That case number is 25 CR 002175D. Nothing further.
Thank you, Judge. This incident took place, this was September 6th, 2025, at the address of 1 Interlock Avenue Northwest in Atlanta. This was at the Bellyard Hotel. Law enforcement responded to the location. There was a report of a lost property call, and they made contact with the hotel concierge, Mr. Christian Wright. He explained the defendant was calling about her missing fanny pack and cigarettes, and that she had attempted to book a room with her debit credit card, but that was declined on payment attempts. The Mr. Wright advised that the defendant was visibly intoxicated and remained in the lobby area overnight due to being unable to book a room. She had began to get boisterous and started cursing with the officer being there, calling the officer stupid and arrogant. When Mr. Wright approached and asked that she be removed due to her unruly behavior, the defendant began to yell and curse and then threw a handbag at Mr. Wright, striking him. There was also a tab from the bar for beverages and food services with a balance of $60.56. The defendant had attempted to send that balance to another room that she was not registered to. And when she provided a card to attempt payment, that card was declined. So there was no other means for her to pay the balance. Also, while in custody, in the patrol car, she was able to maneuver the handcuffs from behind her to in front of her and then repeatedly punched and kicked the inside of the patrol vehicle. And at one point stated she was going to kill herself. With respect to her history, I see out of Maryland from 2021, there was an arson threat, arson/threat arrest. That case looks like it went to pretrial diversion. And also, there was an assault and battery on that law enforcement officer, 2022. That was a different one from the one mentioned by pretrial. This one was from Virginia, dismissed in 2022. And just as well, that recent and presumably open case for the criminal trespass and simple assault from this year out of DeKalb. So the state's understanding from her history is that she's not been living in Georgia very long. So lack of sufficient social ties here is a concern. She also poses a risk of reoffense given the recent prior cases and her even more recent open cases involving threats and violence. And so for those reasons, the state's recommendation is a $1,000 total surety, $500 on each count. We're recommending 2 days anger awareness, a social worker visit for BHET and housing, no further contact with Christian Wright, and stay away from the Bellyard Hotel at 1 Interlock Avenue in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
McLean?
Your Honor, she's 39. She address on Howell Mill Road at an apartment here in Atlanta, zip code 30318. Clock's right over there at the intersection of Howell Mill Road, I believe, in 14th. And so that's where the incident location is. So with our community context, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond. The $60 is, but I'm not saying it's completely de minimis. The matters are serious, and we will hear in court on time. Nothing wrong with the social worker to advise her to be sure to take care of certain matters, but Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond And if not, then the state's recommendation would have to do.
For the simple battery, it will be $1,000 good bond. For the theft, a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,500 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Wright. Stay away from the Bell Yard Hotel. 5 sessions of anger awareness. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, man. Mr. McLean, your client has her hand up.
I can call the he's in if we're through with everything. I think we have Souter to go through.
Yes, we do. So let them know what you need for her to do.
I can just hold on to her for a second if that's not too inconvenient.
I have 11 people up here, so I can bring her back. I will get.
Okay, give her a call after court this afternoon, Mr. McLean.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I believe the only case that we have left is position number 29 that we've almost gotten through, Mr. Suter's case. If we can go off the YouTube, please.